Yes, my sports to the bone people, back at it again with another video. Thank you all for checking this one out. Now, later on tonight, West Indies and New Zealand will do battle in the second ODI of the series. We're going to spend some time, just taking a look at what middle order batter Sherfane Rutherford has to say about the team. He was speaking about how they can score more runs in the middle phase of the game. So we're going to be zooming in on that. So just give a listening ear until the end, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, we are going to be taking a look at the keys to victory. Yes, my people. You know that prior to a game, we like to give the keys to victory. So we're going to be talking some keys to victory. All right, let's jump into it. As a matter of fact, before we go down into this, my people, I just want to say later on will be a busy evening. Because guess what? The Jamaica Reggae boys, they are going up against Curacao at home. And, if we win this game, that's straight to the World Cup final, my people. If we win this game, we gone clear. World Cup 2026. And just to remind you, it will be hosted by USA, Canada, and Mexico. So if we're able to get past Curacao with the 3 points today, that's straight in for the Reggae boys. So if you're on the ground, go in and support. Social media support. Pour out the love, pour out the support. All right? All right, so let's talk some cricket, lovely cricket. Now, later on tonight, West Indies and New Zealand will entertain us in the second ODI of the series. Now, I was listening to Sherfane Rutherford, and coming out of the first game, he was speaking about some of the same things that as fans we have identified, He was saying that we have to find a way to score. We 100% need to find a way to score. He was saying it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how, but especially in the middle phase, we have to find a way to score. He was saying that cricket is that game. It's not always going to be beautiful, but you have to find a way to score. And the same thing that as fans that we talk about almost every day. In all three formats of our cricket, Rutherford addressed it. He said that we need to find a way to rotate the strike, right? This is him. There is no perfect way to do it, but getting singles in between really helps. So he's saying that there's no perfect way to go and put the score out there, but getting singles in between really goes a far way. It's nice to see the ball going over the boundary or into the boundary, yes, but you have to rotate the strike. It goes without saying. And we'll talk a little bit more on that when we touch on the keys to victory. Right? So that is what Rutherford was saying. Find a way to pick up those singles in the middle phase. Also in the middle phase, if we can find more boundaries, that would be good. So putting away the bad balls or if you want to say the inviting balls, put them away. Right? Obviously, we're not saying throw caution to the wind and go and swing for dear life in the middle phase to get boundaries. But you can score off the bad deliveries, get boundaries off those if possible, and rotate the strike. Rotate the strike, rotate the strike. Strike rotation, strike rotation. This is something that we talk about all the time. T20, ODIs, and tests. Rotation of strike. When you end up losing a game by 6 or 7 or 8 runs, we're not saying the opponents aren't good or they didn't do what they need to do to win. But when you look at the fact that you're facing how many dot balls, right? We have to find a way to maximize. And I'm not saying that the bowlers from the other team, they can't bowl good deliveries. Obviously, there are going to be good deliveries that you're just not going to play. But we have to find a way to score off more balls. You understand? So I 100% agree with Rutherford on that. Now, talking about keys to victory. Keys to victory. Our bowlers have shown that they have what it takes. Right? They have what it takes. As a matter of fact, New Zealand will be without Darrell Mitchell. Right? He scored the century in the first game. He has an injury. So they are going to be without him. Yeah, you know, not saying that that means they're going to be a pushover or it's going to be any easier. But I'm just saying that, you know, he was one man that really held things together for them when our bowlers were tormenting them. So I'm expecting the bowlers to go out and do the same thing, right? I always try to be positive. I always try to say, listen, I don't want to seem as if I'm asking the bowlers to create miracles, but if we're bowling first, I always say 280, 285. If we get anything under that, I am grateful. If we get them out, if we bowl them out, or restrict them for anything under 280, I am grateful. But that is the target that I would give the bowlers, right? Obviously, if we're batting first, the target's going to be bigger because you want to know that you are safe, right? And in ODIs these days, 340, 350, 360 is hardly safe. But that is something that I usually ask the batsmen for that. Right? You're facing what? 300 balls. If we can score off more balls, you know, rotate the strike. Obviously, we have power hitters that's going to get boundaries in between, you know, so we can aim for over 300. You know, we definitely need to aim for over 300. I always say 340, 350. But I understand that it might be asking too much of these players. So, you know, that is how I'm looking at it. The fielding. We cannot be dropping catches. We cannot be dropping dollies and sitters. You understand? We know that there are going to be difficult chances that you might grasp. But the dollies and the sitters, man, we can't do that. When a bowler is working so hard for his wicket and manage to produce a good ball and take the edge or get the batsman to play a far shot and then you just decide to drop the catch. That doesn't make any sense. Imagine being a specialist batsman. You're out there, you're not bowling in the field, you're not feeling well, and when it's time to make runs, you're not making no runs. That don't make any sense. I know that nobody goes out there to try and do bad. Obviously, I know nobody goes out there to try and do bad. But I'm just saying, we have to lock in. We have to lock in, my viewers and subscribers, because we need to level this series. And I see where we can. You know, I see where we can. They're a team that they are obviously ranked above us. They, you know, they play tend to play better cricket than us, generally speaking. That is why they are rated higher than us. But guess what? We have the ability. We have the ability. You know, we just need to try and tighten up certain things. As I said, bowlers will have their way. You will have a batsman that will have his way, you know, but we have to make sure that if they are beating us, they are doing so without any help from us. You understand? We have to put our all out there and make them outperform us. You know, we can't be dropping dollies and sitters and then, you know, when it's time to bat. I can understand a man getting out to a good ball, but, you know, just doing craziness, them things don't work. So it's gonna be a fun pack evening, my people. As I said, Reggae Boys and Curacao later on, World Cup qualifier, and then we have West Indies versus New Zealand in that second one. So we're going there around. Big up.